Hello and welcome to Abundantly Minimal. My name is Sarah, and if you are looking for some New Year's resolutions that will help you live a more minimal and intentional life, you're in the right place. I have a list of over 50 for you, and these 50 resolutions are divided up into the following categories: decluttering, time management and habits, finances, health, and intentional living. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Starting with our decluttering resolutions, you could consider decluttering one item every single day of the year. You could also consider decluttering one surface in your space and making sure that you maintain that clutter-free surface, such as a kitchen counter or table, throughout the entire year. You could also focus on decluttering your trouble zone, whatever that one area is that has been frustrating, that just seems to attract a lot of clutter. You also could consider trying out a capsule wardrobe for the first time and seeing if that approach works for you. This might be a great time to test out a command center in your space or to go through existing paper clutter you have. If you've got any piles of paper clutter or things you haven't really looked at in a long time. You might want to set a resolution to go through your digital clutter. Likewise, if you have a lot of sentimental items, maybe you try to consolidate the sentimental items you have in a way that reduces the volume and allows you to better care for and protect the items that are most valuable to you. Maybe it's a great time to declutter or clean out your car. Or maybe you decide to pick one room in your house and give it a facelift or just general improvement and update through the process of decluttering and maybe making some intentional upgrades. Maybe you make a goal to spend 5 minutes each day tidying up at the end of the day, just to make sure your house stays better under control throughout the year. Or maybe you focus on getting rid of those in-transit items, maybe items you've set aside to donate or sell but just haven't taken action yet. Maybe they're even in the trunk of your car. Let's get those out finally. Next up, let's get into some time management and habit-related resolutions. Maybe you resolve to set up a morning routine or even an intentional evening routine that are aligned with what your priorities are and help you feel your best. Maybe you adjust the way you're spending your time and try to spend more time on what actually matters to you, or spending less time on the things that don't matter as much to you and don't make you feel as good as possible. From a work perspective, you could try to stop working at a designated time period of the day to better practice work-life balance, or you could also focus on minimizing distractions while you're working on something so you're able to work more effectively and efficiently. Now let's get into some financial goals. First up, you could consider a no spend or low spend challenge to help you cut your spending. You also could set a budget. This is great whether you've done it before or not. Give it a try. This could be a great time to establish an emergency fund or build up the current emergency fund you already have. You also might find it beneficial to pay down debt that you have, whether that means paying extra on a mortgage or credit card debt, any type of debt. This could also be a good chance to start a retirement account or continue contributing to what you already have established. You could also consider reducing your grocery bill or setting a little bit more of a strict grocery and food budget if that's an area you often spend too much in. You might even decide that it's time to start a side hustle or some sort of side business or online business if that has been a goal of yours and you want extra income. Maybe you have a resolution to invest in yourself through some sort of course or program that you have wanted to do for a long time and just were putting off. Maybe it's also a chance for you to focus on more intentional consumption and intentional purchases from organizations and small businesses that you really want to support. And maybe it's even a great chance to donate money or time to causes that you care about. Now let's move into some health goals. Maybe you decide to get more sleep, and by doing that you set an earlier bedtime or even sleep in a little bit if possible. Maybe you need to drink more water, and so you set a certain target for how much more water you're going to drink each day. From a food perspective, maybe you want to slow down and eat more mindfully, so you're aware of what you're eating and not just eating in a fog. Maybe you wish to cook more meals at home rather than going out to eat or eating processed foods. Maybe you try to eat more plant-based and increase the amount of fruits and vegetables in your diet. Maybe you want to eat a more low-waste diet where you're not wasting as much food and also trying to reduce the amount of plastic and other packaging that comes in the foods you're eating. Maybe a helpful resolution for you would be to stand up more and sit less, or go for walks more regularly. Maybe it's a goal to find a fitness activity that you actually enjoy doing and is meaningful to you. Maybe a helpful goal is to stretch every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Maybe you decide to give meditation a try and find a program that you enjoy doing. Maybe you want to focus on your dental health and do a better job of flossing or brushing your teeth more often or anything else. Next up, we're moving to intentional living goals. And after I share those, I am going to be giving you a couple key tips how you can take these ideas and actually put them into practice. So make sure you do watch through the end of the video for those. First up, maybe you can focus on cultivating joy. We often get bogged down in the day-to-day stresses of life that we might forget to celebrate and experience joy with what makes us happy. So if we kind of tune into that and look for ways we can cultivate that joy, that would be a great resolution. Maybe we resolve to read more books or even learn more about other perspectives and experiences outside of our own. It might be helpful to start journaling more regularly, even daily. And you also might focus on connecting more with others, whether that is virtually or in person down the road. Maybe you decide to shift your mindset and focus on practicing gratitude, whether that's through a gratitude journal or something else. Maybe you even decide to focus on random acts of kindness, things that people are not expecting, but ways you can make the world a little brighter. Maybe you focus on single tasking, doing just one task at a time rather than multitasking or jumping between all these different things. Maybe you try to spend less time on your phone. Maybe you try to spend more time in the present moment or focus on staying present during moments you might typically zone out. And last but not least, maybe speaking your truth is an important resolution so you're able to speak up for yourself and what you believe in no matter what the circumstance. That was quite a list of resolutions, and I'm sure you might be thinking of all the different possibilities for yourself this year, but I encourage you, if you want to be successful, to make sure you do not pick all of these or even many of them to try to implement. One thing at a time, or maybe give one per category a try so you're not overcommitting yourself and leading to burnout. I'd rather you be successful long-term than just for a few days. Another key detail I want you to remember is that while these are New Year's resolutions, they really can be practiced at any point, and we can continue improving ourselves at any point throughout the year, not just on January 1st or just in January itself. We can make this progress any day, and any of these goals that I talked about or resolutions I talked about today can apply whenever. It's never too late to change your life, to improve the way you've been living, your habits, anything like that. So please remember that no matter when you're watching this, you can still apply these. And lastly, I gave a huge list of ideas in this video, but I didn't actually give the step-by-step framework of how you put any of these into effect. That would have made the video crazy long. But what I encourage you to do after you've finished watching this is to reflect about which habits are most important to you or resolutions are most important to you, and look at some of those next steps up yourself so you are prepared and have an action plan. Now, many of the ideas I mentioned today are actually things or topics covered in my program, Monthly Minimalist Makeover. It's a really fun monthly challenge group to help you live a more minimal and intentional life. We have different pillars of the program that are the same pillars I talked about today. And with that, every month you get a certain monthly challenge. It comes with a 15 to 20 page ebook and workbook for yourself. We have monthly coaching calls. There's audio guides. There's accountability with other like-minded individuals who are trying to improve their lives and live more intentionally as well. So it's just a really great experience to be a part of. And I'd love for you to join our program if you're interested. I'll leave all the links for that in the description field. Again, if you're interested in going further on a lot of these topics I mentioned in today's video. But thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe right up here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.